Unfortunately, stories like Marine Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover are no longer coming to any surprise of the American people.
As soon as he got there, he felt that this withdrawal was not being well run.
His words to me were, "Mom, I now know that upper command cares nothing for us." It was complete chaos. He knew that it was wrong. He voiced his opinion. No one listened. He knew that it was not what it was supposed to be.
So many people reach out to me on a daily basis. A lot of them are Gold Star mothers and fathers. They all have the same commonality. They're all trying to find the same answers, simple answers to questions that should have been answered a long time ago.
The communication was abysmal at best. We have been given incorrect reports, wrong reports from the Department of Defense, from the Marine Corps, all the way up and down the chain.
The government owes it to Gold Star parents and family members, and really the government owes it to the American people to explain when and why things happen. And when they break down, there needs to be some sort of justice and accountability measures there put in place so the American people don't lose all the trust and confidence in the very government that really is sworn to uphold and protect us.
I know this because we talked to the guys that were there. All of the facts and everything else that we've been given are absolutely wrong according to the guys that are on the ground.
The Gold Star moms and dads here of the incident that happened in Abbey Gate in Afghanistan are having to contact other Marines that were there on the ground to get real answers. Why is the Biden administration and the DOD so incompetent to answering these questions and getting out what really happened and why the breakdown was there militarily?
The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals.
And then I hear this. Biden comes out and calls this mission a success. That right there is about as egregious a comment a commander-in-chief could ever make, especially how we cut and ran. These colors don't run, right? Well, they did. And you call that a success? You call a suicide bombing a success? You call hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of Afghans hiding up in the wheel wells of a C-17 a success? You call leaving Americans behind a success? You call and force private citizens, the majority of them were retired U.S. military veterans, to go in there behind enemy lines to perform their own rescue missions because you couldn't do it? You call that a success? You should be ashamed of yourself. You should have been impeached a long time ago. And I can tell you what, you are going to be voted out and Trump will be reelected in 2024.
What goes through your mind when you hear that?
Well, our military is excellent. What goes through my mind is that he's a coward. He's responsible for the murder of my son. That's what goes through my mind. And he's saying that this was a success and that it was done in a way that it should have been done. 100% wrong. He needs to step down. I wish he would step down right now and let Trump in. I just think it's just a total chaos, catastrophe.
If President Trump, I believe, were in command that day, that would have never happened. There would have been some sort of a strategic plan put in place to remove ourselves from this 20-year war. But it wouldn't have just ended abruptly. Again, cut, run, leave everything behind. I mean, literally, like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, how did this happen? Why did it happen this way? And then 10 minutes later, you go into a press conference and say that it was a success. Right now, at this given time, there is nobody else that I would rather have commanding the United States of America than former President Donald J. Trump. I sincerely believe he is fit and he is the man for the job to get everything turned around. It's not going to be pretty. I know the left is going to fight him like, you know what? And I didn't want Trump going back in originally because I'm so tired of the divide. I want to move on from that. I hate division. I hate the divide and all that. But things have gotten so bad over the last 3 years that the only way that we're going to get back is to fight fire with fire. How do we do that? Well, we put the former president back in office to pretty much everything that has been up for the last 3 years.
You always have to be prepared. And I rebuilt our entire military. And think of it, Biden gave $85 billion worth of our military to Afghanistan so stupidly. People died. 13 great soldiers died. I've gotten to know the families very well.
$85 billion worth of military equipment and assets were left right there in Afghanistan. So we can, rebuild terror cells in organizations so we can just rinse, wash, and repeat the same 20-year war that we just got out of, that we just cut and ran from? What about all that bloodshed?
How do you look at the other candidates in this race?
Elections have consequences. In order for us to get the country back to the way it should be and needs to be, I think the clear winner should and will be President Trump.
Trump is the man for this job. He is an honest. I looked that man in the face several times, spoke to him. He cares about me. He cares about you, Martha. He cares about this country. More importantly to me, he cares about my son. He cares about the military. He needs to be in, and he will make sure that what happened to my son will never happen again to another family.
All these Gold Star moms and dads want is a little bit of decency and a little bit of respect. That's all they want. Sit down with them and at least explain what happened. And I talk about this so much on my podcast, folks. If you don't give people simple answers to simple questions, they're going to go out and they're going to start to draw their own conclusions. I've had too many Gold Star family members on this podcast right here of their loved ones dying in combat, war fighters giving everything for this country, and them getting nothing in return except for no answers, no justice, no truth, and no transparency. And folks, the last time I checked, we still live in the United States of America, and we better start acting like it.